and let us all do we can to build a better future. Break down the barriers. Learn to talk to people. Have a different opinion. It's okay. I think it's important that we have to challenge the authority and break out of our safe spaces. Now, look, I'm not expecting all of us to agree with each other because that ain't going to happen. No, that's not going to happen. I reject the Star Trek Gene Roddenberry universe of, oh, everything's all nice and it's hunky-dory. No. We're all going to have different opinions and points of views, but we got to be better. So you see a conversation between two individuals that I thought I would never see happen, Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube. So let's hear about it. I'm only going to play 5 minutes of it, but I think it's important that we hear this conversation. Speak to those of a different opinion and perspective. Life is short, folks. Make it count. Don't let the establishment or people on social media dictate who you can and cannot talk to. Let's play it.
So why would you be doing this of all interviews? I mean, you could do an interview with anyone. You're doing an interview with me. Obviously, you're going to take abuse for doing that. Like, why would you do that?
Because I think it's silly not to talk to people. I think whether we agree or not,
right, that
has nothing to do with it. You know, it's like, this is what it's all about. Let's talk about it. Let's debate. And you know, I've been shut out.
That sounds like right-wing extremism and whataboutism.
But I've been shut out, you know.
Everything is right-wing. Don't talk to another person. Don't go on Fox News. Remember when Kyle said that, even though he was on Fox News?
Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, you know, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, you know, I'm an outsider. And so, you know, I'm not part of the club. So I have to go places for one that I'm welcome, and where I can voice my opinion without somebody, you know, saying I'm a bad person and that they never want to have me on their platform again.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been, you know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but
you'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
And I've seen when Ice Cube's been on The View before. So, you know, again, I think 2020 and Trump broke a lot of people's brains. People got triggered and panicked. For the love of God, don't let things dictate your emotions.
Yeah. You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate.
Now, again, isn't this interesting? He's produced, directed, and written a lot of content, but they would have the actors or other people involved in the project there, but he, one of the creators, isn't invited. What's going on?
Participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show, and Once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On
I don't know
Oprah,
what that's
on Oprah's show.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's really.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know.
Oh, because if you go against the Oprah, you're put on the chopping block. If the Oprah doesn't want you on, you don't get on. For those who lived in Chicago, you might remember the era when Oprah really had a lot of power in this city. Look, she still does to some extent, but there was the Oprah Winfrey Show, and that was the show in Chicago. Okay. Again, it's rather interesting that the people that the actors, the actresses were invited, but he wasn't. I mean, maybe I'm willing to be generous here. Maybe they were like, we want to speak to the actors and we don't want Ice Cube to overshadow them, but Ice Cube is the creator. I mean, there's a reason why all those actors and actresses are working on the set for his show.
That's something that I would love to find out, but I can't tell you, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way.
You can't criticize the Oprah. You just can't. It's above any kind of way to do so. People don't know that, man. Trust me. Back in the day, Oprah was the queen of this city. Could be argued her influence is still felt to this very day.
I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? You're not like a right winger.
No.
You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, just want to do right by the people, So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
So I remember reading you say something along the lines of, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump voter. You actually attacked Trump at one point, but you were willing to meet with Trump. Do you think that crossed a line?
I think some people didn't like that, but I think it's idiotic. Enemies meet.
Right.
They.
That's a good point. Look, in relation to Hard Lens, we've had a lot of people tell us when we were on the streets of Chicago, when we were on radio, when we got on TV, and when we set up our YouTube channel, oh, you shouldn't interview those people. Don't interview this group. Don't interview that group. Why are you talking to that political party? Why are you talking to them? Don't talk to them. You got to talk to them. Like, here's the thing. And I'm going to be generous with this word. Probably the most, politically different group that we've had on Hard Lens Media have been libertarians. But I might not agree with everything the libertarians have to say, but they got a voice. I'm going to talk to them. I care. And look, I've been consistent about third parties. When I say I want the Green Party to succeed, I also want the Libertarian Party to succeed too. I hope both parties are extremely successful and get recognized in the 2024 election. That's just my opinion. Okay? That's it. That's just how I feel. We've yet to have a Republican on the show. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll have Donald Trump. He'll be the first Republican on Hard Lens Media. That's never going to happen. But look, you got to talk to people of different perspectives and points of view. I've had a couple of conservatives and libertarians on my show, and I don't regret it. You got to talk to people. I'm done living in a bubble. I'm done being told what to do. And, I think we're all guilty of it. At one point, like, oh, I'm going to stay in my lane. No, get out of your lane. Enemies do meet, but hey, it doesn't say we have to be enemies, man. To quote Rocky IV, if I can change and you could change, everybody can change.
They talk. I'm pretty sure there's some communication between Russia and the Ukraine right now. Somebody's on the phone talking to somebody, trying to come up with a solution. So we just got to talk. That's the only way we're going to work this out. I know when the talking stops, the fighting starts. A lot of people, they, think I'm Republican. I'm a right winger. Just because I was willing to speak to the Trump administration, and I was willing to speak with the Biden administration as well.
And the thing is, like, look, that's a bold stance to do. Okay, you're gonna talk to the Trump administration. What's the worst thing Trump's gonna do? Just tell you no? Okay, well, you talk to the Trump administration. It's not World War III. Well, we're kind of close to it, but hey, you talk to Trump. Big deal. Big deal. All right. But for some reason, a lot of liberals get shocked. I mean, hell, when Tucker Carlson had his show on Fox News, he had Tulsi Gabbard on, Dr. Cornel West. He had Glenn Greenwald, Aaron Mate, Jimmy Dore, and so many people were attacking those progressives and independents for being on Tucker Carlson's show. Like, how dare you be on Tucker? Tucker Carlson had the most popular show on Fox News. You want eyeballs on you or the movement that you're talking about? You have a better chance of more people paying attention if you want to Tucker Carlson show on Fox News. This is an open debate. You think CNN and MSNBC can hold a candle to that? No, they cannot.
Have you?
One guy in the administration, but it didn't go anywhere. It was basically a, take my temperature kind of call. We'll get to it. But they never got to it or never planned to. Matter of fact, the guy left the administration. So, after talking to him for a year or so, he was gone. And then, we were left really with no one to continue the conversations.
What do you think of Biden?
So I'm going to pause here again. Like, look, again, because there's probably a lot more to take away from that interview. And I have watched it, but I wanted to at least play at least the 6 minutes of that. Get out of your safe space. Talk to people of different points of view and perspectives. Not all going to agree with each other, but God damn it, we got to make the effort. We're ruled over by a corporate media that doesn't tell us the truth. We're ruled over by a two-party system that systematically tells us that everything's okay. Meanwhile, inflation's on the rise. Homeowners are being evicted from their homes and apartments. Small businesses are being shut down. Trains are derailing. Bridges are falling apart. There's lead in our drinking water. There's pollutants in our drinking water. There's contaminants in the air. Our soil's being contaminated. Our food isn't being properly taken care of. Our schools are falling apart. We got a mental health crisis in this country. We have an opioid crisis in this country. We have money to bail out Wall Street and the big banks. We have unchecked political corruption. Our politicians are enriching themselves. And of course, let's face it, we got a ridiculous war in Ukraine. So yeah. How's your day going? Don't you see we're all being put on the chopping block? And they tell us, the powers that be say, don't talk to your neighbor. Don't talk to that person. Don't you dare talk to each other. Let's take that bold step. I'm not expecting friendly conversations, and I'm pretty sure everyone's is minding their own business as they should be. But sooner or later, we all got to come together and realize that this, what we have ruling over us, just doesn't work.